Hey everyone! So this is the start of February monthly in my family album, and this is what I have so far. I did a big print, order through Persnickety Prints, and so I placed all the photos, and then I kind of picked out cards that I wanted to use. And I also had this insert. I was originally going to do all the way 9 by 12, but I've never done an insert like this, so I didn't know if I'd have enough journaling. So I just went with this size. I'm not even sure what size this is. I think it's like almost 8.5, I want to say, because I had these two really cute 4x6 photos that I wanted to include. So I included those, and I used the Elle Studio stamps as my bulletin points here and there, and I went with the colors based off of this card. And then I also just picked out a few miscellaneous stuff, and I have a little pile over there. So I am ready to tackle this spread and hoping it doesn't take a long time. I'm going to try to make it simple, not too complicated. And this will go in the middle, like I said. So let's get started. I'm going to move these pages and then I'm going to start building my cards. Here we go. So I'm going to start with the left side, and I'm going to pull things off of the page so that way I can start putting things on the different cards and photos as well. I have this really old card. I think it's old. Maybe it's not. But Things We Love. So I put a transparency on top of it. And I also had this label that I found, and it said, "All I need is friends," and I thought that that was perfect for this selfie of me with my kids and then our friends. I'm not a big fan of the photo of myself. It's a weird angle, but I love the kids. They're adorable. And for the main card right there where I got all my colors, I'm using a giant wood veneer 2 and then a puffy sticker that says smooches. There we go. Putting that on. And then for the photo of my son with the cat, I have a pink label and die cut. I'm not sure what it says, but I put that on the photo. And then for this card right here, I'm just writing like little things that we love currently at that time in February. Just jotting down like our cats and different activities that we've enjoyed. Keeping it simple since my insert went into a lot more detail. For this purple label, I'm going to use the empty space on the window photo, and I'm going to put hello, and then I'm going to put February with some puffy stickers, and then I will place that on the photo. So now it says hello February, Feb. And then, now I'm putting it down. And then I will add on a puffy sticker. And I wanted to add a green label, and I thought I was going to do it to that bottom photo of my kids. And I was trying to measure out the different words and see which word I wanted to put on there. But then I just decided to put a label on the jumping photo, and I'm going to put best and then happiness right here. That way I start to tie in some green, which is on that main card with the 2. So I'm going to put that green label on the jumping photo, and then I'm going to switch the photos. I'm always fussing with photos, aren't I? And then I also have a die cut and a transparency little piece, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put there. I'm going to put a tiny little label that says happiness, I believe, and I'm just going to use my tiny attacher. Love using my tiny attacher. That's the thing with Project Life pages. I just can't help but add a little something to nearly every single page. Every single little page has to be decorated, for good or for bad, right? I'm going to layer a acetate heart behind the 2. And I'm not sure if it's going to stay, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. Add a little puffy sticker to the friends label, and then move on to the right side of the page. There we go. And I'm just going to pull things off because that's what helps me when I'm compiling my pages, is just pulling stuff off. That way I can start building stuff. I don't know who could build pages off, like being on top of the page protector. I couldn't build a page that way. I have to pull things off and lay it flat. So this Here's the Story, I had to include that for my son literally arresting my husband. It was hilarious. It was just a museum display, but it was hilarious. So that's perfect. Once again, measuring the little bubbles to see if I can fit something, but you know me, I'm all over the place. So I go back to the photo of my husband and my son, and I just journal what that's about, and then I'll move on to the next card. And I also have this middle card that I'm going to make. I'm going to make like kind of another title card, but also a filler card, and I'm going to layer on some of the acetate hearts. Yes, that's what they're called, hearts. And then I'm going to layer on some labels, and then I'm going to stamp on those labels as well. I can't remember what I stamped on them, but I'm going to use my tiny attacher again to tilt the heart and staple it. And then I will layer on a gray one, and then also a purple one, I think. I think that's purple, or maybe it's green. But I layer them all on, and it makes for a fun dimensional focus point for the right side of the page. There we go, another tiny attacher. When I use that tiny attacher, I go to town. I make sure I use it all the way. So I get 5 stars. Stamping a little bit more on that second label, and it was important for me to make sure I stacked things and didn't hide the pink heart too much. For this photo, it was just a photo of my kids doing homework. It's not the best quality photo, but I wanted to include it because it's kind of it is our daily life, and it deserved to be documented. So I found probably a really old die cut label, and so I just journaled about that. And then let's see, what am I working on now? Oh, I have this, we went to this history museum that the 5th graders do at our school, and I was gonna use that tiny scrap of a blue tag, but then I didn't like how much I squished in the journaling, so I decided to get one of the noteworthy 6x6 papers, the papers, and then on the back is the labels, and so I'm going to use that. The label's a little, for lack of a better word, a little fatter than I wanted, but it allows me to stamp twice and not squish my little story so much. So I will take off that scrap one and then just put that one on. I think my son was standing next to John F. Kennedy. He made a funny, ridiculous face every time he went and stood by these poor kids that were worked so hard on their speeches, and they're so nervous, and my son's over there making wacky faces at them. Well, you know, justice is served because he has to do that this year. He's now the 5th grader. Ha! I'm going to build another card, and once again, making sure that I get things stacked. I don't know what the word is, but things stacked so that way they are at a good level and eye-pleasing. I'll use that word, eye-pleasing. So I use a piece of green paper, an acetate scallop, kind of a scallop blue, and then a green label, and then a purple label, and I'm just stamping different phrases on those, mainly using Title Builder 3. So in this one, I stamped the phrase, all my heart, and then I will add the purple label. And also trying to figure out where I can put that puffy sticker. That's why I was holding it on my finger. I'm also gonna stamp on I think I'm putting, I don't know what I put on that phrase, I can't remember. But I decided to put a little dark blue phrase and then the purple label. It's all about balance for me and just balancing everything. So nothing's too crowded and too clustered. This spread is done. I'm not sure what happened, but the last part got cut off. I just finished this card, and now this gigantic spread is done, and I have officially started on February. Woo! I'm so excited. It's okay to be behind. I'm okay with that. But I love how this spread came together. It was a good challenge. Picking that card, I had to make sure that all the colors were balanced. I think I achieved that, and I love the mix of die cuts and stamping and transparencies and labels, a little of this and a little of that, and it came together. And I also have my insert that will go right there. So I hope you enjoyed watching this process video. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.